When morning came, Eragon's cheek was raw from chafing against Snowfire's neck, and he was sore from his fight with Murtagh. Book 1, Eragon. Chapter 47, A Clash of Wills. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle chapter by chapter. I'm Darien Smart.
And I'm Lucy Hart.
And this chapter is shorter. Usually it would have been combined with other chapters, but the chapters on either side of it were too beefy.
They're too chonky. They're chonky boys.
Chonky boys. No! For that, Lucy, you have to do your spark of inspiration first.
I have to.
You have to go first as punishment for chonky boys.
No, not the chonky boys.
No.
I think for my spark of inspiration, I am going to pick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one.
I can. Oh, really? Is that? Oh, you're repeating the question back, but very, very slowly.
Very slowly.
Because you're buying time. And what a fascinating strategy.
Because I know I had one. I remember being like, "Oh, this will be a good one. This will be a good one." But so I'm trying to put myself back in that moment. So I can remember what it was.
I can
go.
I
was sitting. Okay,
All
if you want to,
I guess I'll go because chonky boys.
Because chonky.
But I'm gonna punish you with it.
Okay.
It's still gonna be a Lucy punishment. My spark of inspiration is Lucy's new tattoo.
Oh, thank you.
It's very, very good.
It's
it
so
looks
good.
cool.
Yes.
It is. Lucy, you want to describe it a little bit? It
is
yours.
So yes, I can talk about my tattoo. So as I mentioned in the last episode, it is inspired from the Adventure Zone.
Mm-hmm. And you have talked about this before, because this was actually your spark of inspiration when you
Yes.
first scheduled to do it.
Yes, when I first scheduled to do it.
Yep. Ages ago.
Yep.
So no, I get to steal it.
Yes. And so what it was is, it is Merle's four-fingered soulwood arm. More hand, not arm. And it's on my chest, and there is a banner across it that says, "I choose joy."
Mm-hmm.
And
it's got the Bureau of Balance symbol on, which is such a good
logo on
detail.
his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because I'm like, I need the Bob symbol in there.
Yep.
I do need the Bob symbol. But it's basically, I think I've talked about it before. I'll just reiterate here. If anyone doesn't want any spoilers for Taz, please skip.
Yep. I'll have spoiler in the show notes.
Yep. So what it is there is a scene in which Merle is talking to the big bad John, and John
was essentially the personification of entropy.
Yep. And John asks Merle, "What brings you joy?" And Merle says, "What brings me joy is life," and goes on to say, like, he's had a joy getting to know John,
Mm-hmm.
and a joy, and he breaks the fourth wall, Clint, and I've had joy playing this game.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a joy, like, I don't always do a character voice, but it brings me joy.
It just becomes amazing. Hold on.
No, you're good.
You keep talking.
And it's just so good. And afterwards, John says, life, John goes on a villain monologue and basically says, "Life, Merle, love, Merle is horrible."
Yeah.
And goes on to say how horrible and pointless it is. "I've thought about life, Merle. You can't possibly."
Eternity.
I've pondered eternity, and you can't do that, but I have.
It's a curse.
And it is a curse. It is life, Merle, love, Merle. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And Merle goes, "You know what, John? I don't think I want to hang out with you anymore." And it's like, you can wallow in your self-pity and hatred and whatever, and at the end of it, you can say,
"Maybe
I'm
we'll
sorry."
eat again at the end of time, and you can tell me you were wrong.
Yep. And then he says, "You can kiss my ass, you sanctimonious bastard." And I just fucking love that scene so much.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that is how I am choosing to live my life. I am choosing joy. I am choosing joy and accepting who I am completely, utterly, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I am choosing to move forward. I am choosing to live my life in joy instead of wallowing in self-pity and like, "Oh, I've done horrible things and no one deserves to see me." Like, I've done horrible things, and I'm choosing to move past that and bring joy to others and myself. And I am choosing my girlfriend because she brings me joy, and I am choosing to live my life with a partner that I choose because that is joy. I am choosing my friends because they choose to accept me fully, completely, the good, the bad, the ugly. Aw, Darren's doing a little hard on me.
Heart.
And I am choosing the people who love me and who bring me joy and who I hope bring joy into their lives. And I am choosing that. And you can kiss my ass, you sanctimonious family.
Yeah, yes! It's so good because I think at the surface level, if you don't know any of the scene, you don't know the context, the concept I choose joy can feel like it is bordering on that toxic positivity.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, only pick joyful things in your life. Don't ever focus, like, only focus on the good. Don't let the bad get you down. Which, like, but, like, and that the idea that you are not allowed to ever experience negative or heavy emotion is the problem with the toxic positivity of like, well, only surround yourself with happy. Like that's not what that is about. It's not about rejecting or ignoring or suppressing the non-joyful things. It is about the bigger scale. It is about looking in the face of eternity, the face of entropy that is telling you that all things are pointless.
Yeah.
That our only goal should just be to try to conquer the unconquerable out of fear and that nothing matters. And looking at that in the eye and saying, nah, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is, and especially coming from the multi-layer meta-narrative of Merle Highchurch as the character and Clint McElroy as a player and this family weaving this story together. Like, I choose joy and it being a choice. It also recognizing not like you are being forced to do this or you have to do it, but like it is a choice that you get to make, and what it means to the individual is what it means to the individual.
Yep.
And how you choose to do that and what that is going to look like. But it is a choice, and it's not, and making that choice doesn't mean never allowing yourself to process the things that are heavy or hard. It means at the end of the day, you get to choose what you want your world to be. Whether you choose entropy or you choose joy, and choosing joy is a defiance, and as punk rock as it's gonna get.
Yep, pretty much.
It is the ultimate hope punk, and I love it so very much.
Yeah,
it's one of the thousands of things I love about Taz. Damn it, I gotta get my Taz. I'm gonna do it. I finally figured out exactly what I want it to look like, which is why I was finally like, hey, will you hook me up with your tattoo artist? Because I think Lucy's already done the hard work of like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Now I can just go and be like, so you wield the thing. Great. Here's what I want.
Yeah, right.
I do just want the text as it appears in 11th Hour. You're going to be amazing. But with the Bureau of Balance symbol and then like ribbons of color behind it.
Yep.
Because I know I want color in it. I don't just want text. And I wasn't sure about having a symbol until I saw yours. And I'm like, oh shit, that looks really good. Yeah. No, Lucy's right. Totally right. I want the Bureau of Balance symbol with the quote and the colors. I want the colors.
Yep.
So I'm like, Lucy, can I yoink your tattoo artist when you're done with him? So even though Lucy talked mostly, that was my spark of inspiration. Now Lucy has to give us hers.
I have to give. Now I wasn't thinking about mine because I was talking about my tattoo. And
that's for saying they were thick boys.
Yeah, that's for saying thick boys. It's so good. I'm gonna kind of go. I don't know what kind of image you're going to use for this, but I think I'm just going to go, I think who inspire me are my friends.
Oh, Luce! I'm going to make you send me a picture of your friends then.
All my friends, just everybody. I've been trying to do more printed pictures and stuff. Great. I don't have pictures of like a lot of people, which for me, it's kind of sad, but it also makes me happy because that means that I am living life here and now, and I'm not obsessed with taking pictures and doing that. So that makes me happy.
Can relate.
Yes, and so I got a million pictures of Vivi, but that is entirely different.
That's because I print out the pictures of Vivi and give them to you.
I have so many pictures of Vivi. Yeah, so I think just kind of going along like with the tattoo is like even like even when I do something really dumb or really bad, they're like, Lucy, and I'm like, I know, and they're like, okay, we love you, but please don't do that again. I'm like, I know I won't. I promise. I'm not gonna. I'll be better. And also just like just being able to share each other's stories and stuff, like in our D&D Dalton's D&D group where I'm with Ray, King, and Claire, me and Dalton. We talk about like we did like a beach episode. We're kind of in the middle of
beach episode.
Yeah, we're in the middle of arc, so we did like a beach episode, and
we got to do another beach episode.
Yeah, and everyone's doing like everyone wrote a little bit about their backstory about like a certain scene that has happened, and they were sharing it, and we were all reading it, and it was just like I just felt like because I was remembering I was sitting at our table with everybody, and I was just feeling my heart swell up, and that was because all of us were just like laughing and getting along and telling our stories and all these things, and I was just like, I'm like, that was the feeling that I was like, that inspires me. So just being able to do that, and then also like while reading books and everything like does inspire me to write and stuff, thinking about I want to share this with my friends is what makes me want to do good and share it with people. So
that's so good. Community.
Yes, absolutely.
Now let's talk about. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I just remembered how you were saying about my prologue and how much you fucking love that. And that
I really like your prologue.
Yeah,
and then when I got thinking, I'm like, this isn't the rest of the story. I like the rest of the story, but I was like, but prologue. Yeah. But these are my friends now. Where are my friends? At least make it the epilogue, so I'm not looking for them the whole time. Yeah, right. And then let's talk about how sometimes friends don't always get along.
Friends don't always get along, which always happens.
It happens. They're people.
Yep.
Oh, this one's rough, though.
It is a bit rough.
It's just, and these chapters are escalating of things are not going good for our boys.
No. And I again, like, I do think it is reasonable. And it's also, like, Eragon and Murtagh haven't really had any interactions beyond a lot of people. Okay, let's read the synopsis before we get into it. Yeah.
A clash of wills. Eragon, Saphira, and Murtagh escape the Urgal troops, but are spotted by a band of humans while Saphira is away hunting. The band quickly reveal themselves to be slavers, prepared to drag the boys and Arya back to the Empire. Saphira arrives in time to help drive them away. Though Eragon wishes to let the men escape unharmed, Murtagh executes the leader who did not run away in time. They argue over Murtagh's actions, Eragon horrified and Murtagh unrepentant. The friendship strains further, but they continue onward.
Yep. And what I was saying is, like, from that, like, we don't really know Murtagh's past, but I think what we have guessed is that he has been on the run for a very long time.
A boy's got trauma.
Yeah, and I also think, like, with Murtagh just almost ruthlessly chopping off the slaver's head.
Oh, he cut this man in half.
Yeah, no, we cut off his head.
Oh, I thought he
didn't cut him in half. He just decapitated him.
Yeah, he did decapitate. I thought he like had a head fall from the torso. I think I was picturing more like he cut like through his shoulder, which would be probably not realistic. But I was like, I knew he cut off. I knew the head's dude was not attached to most of his body. The dude's head, not the head's dude.
Oh, I can see it because he says, because like for me it was like Murtagh gazed coldly when he swung his blade at Torquenbrand's neck. No, shouted Eragon, but it was too late. Torquenbrand's decapitated trunk crumpled to the ground in a puff of dirt.
So his trunk is decapitated. Yeah, because the head is away. I see why I got that. I thought it was like, whoa.
I also think trunk is an interesting use of word because I would have said body. And I feel like
form.
Yeah, his decapitated body fell to the ground, which for me makes more sense than trunk because trunk is like this part.
Yeah, trunk is like
it's like he still has arms and legs attached.
Yeah,
yeah. But anyway,
this is a trunk. It's where your organs are all at, and your limbs are just where bones live.
Your limbs are just where bones live.
I mean, there are nerve endings and blood, but like I don't have an organs in my like legs or my arms.
That's so fucking fun. That was great. We need to make that like a banner or something.
I can make that I can do one of my Canva quotes.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. No, but the arms and legs are attached to the trunk.
Yeah.
So it's in anyway.
Yeah,
but we're getting too nitpicky.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
But when he does that, it really for me, it's like. Murtagh's been through some shit. And he even says, like, he'll do anything to survive. And I'm like, I don't doubt that.
It's like, you don't know what it's like to live in fear your whole life. Also, I don't sleep well. Yeah. I go to sleep and sleep doesn't come. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, like, rough.
That is trauma. That is anxiety. That is a constant, like, fight or flight. Your entire nervous system is constantly being activated.
Yeah.
Like,
that's exhausting.
Also, maybe this is I don't think he was wrong.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Because there's a couple things I want to dissect first.
Yeah, before going in, yep.
We have an example of the Urgals being referred to as monsters.
Yeah.
Because they're running away. The horses were exhausted to the point of stopping, yet they maintained a relentless pace. Whether it would be enough to escape depended on how rested the monsters were, and if Eragon and Murtagh's horses survived.
So the continuous monsters. And honestly, like, again, not really spoilers for the rest of the book, but for me, I'm like, this is fitting of like what we have read and what is to come. Like that, for me, I'm like, yeah.
But I would also note that we never referred to the Empire's troops when they were pursuing them as monsters.
That's true. That is very true. And it's arguably that they are as much monsters as the Urgals.
Or the slavers when we encountered them.
Absolutely. Like they are heartless.
They're
monsters.
Yeah, they're monstrous.
Yes.
Their behavior is monstrous. They capture people, strip them of their humanity and autonomy, sell them for profit, and then when they realize Arya is an elf, they're real excited about that.
How much is she worth? Like, they're not even... Yeah, and there's no remorse in them.
And so this is the articulate... When we use the term monster in the context, it is only ever used to refer to Urgals. And yes, the things that the Urgals have done are monstrous. Like, the slaughter of that village is a monstrous act. But you would have to wonder if soldiers had done that under the orders of Galbatorix, would they be referred to as monsters?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. It's not being used as an adjective, it's being used as a noun. Yeah. For them constantly. And that's the thing I clock, is that we don't refer to other enemies as and especially here in this situation where Eragon is adamant that they be let to, if they leave them alone, they'd be allowed to escape with their lives. Yeah. Which is completely contradictory to that lesson that Brom and Saphira had really tried to pressure him into, where it's like, the Urgals already saw us, you have to kill them all. If they get back, they could tell information.
And that's
that
situation.
Is this exactly
situation.
And so something I was like curious about, because that's really the big thing of this, like they're trying to run away. Big thing.
Yeah, because
Eragon spent some time staring at Arya. Yeah, I highlighted that. Just being like, don't be weird.
Murtagh and Eragon are being...
They're not talking.
They're not really talking.
Oh, there's one line that I really, really liked. I like that one. They're eating. They're not really speaking. Yesterday's fight no longer seemed as important because of the Urgals, yet the bruises remained.
I really like that.
Yeah. That, how, in the moment, when things boil over and emotions get really heated and, you can have an altercation with a friend, and then it's very clearly, when it's a solid friendship, you realize that, it doesn't seem as important, but that doesn't mean the thing still didn't happen, and that there isn't still hurt Absolutely. From, and granted, maybe it actually means literal, as in they literally kicked and the bruises. I am choosing to interpret it as dual.
I think it's both. Yeah. I agree with you. I do think it's a little bit of both, because it's the bruising of the ego, because Eragon, it even Eragon said in the last chapter that his pride was stung. Mm-hmm. So I do think there is on multiple levels, especially and Murtagh too, with Eragon is not respecting me or listening to me or hearing me.
Yep. So I'm not as important to him as this elf woman who doesn't even know.
Yeah,
but here he is twirling a stalk of grass between his fingers while he stared at the elf. Yep. Eragon, don't do that. Yeah. That's weird. Not even watched over the elf. Okay, that's fine. Sat near her. Checked in on her. We use the word stared here. Yeah. That's a very specific vibe. Eragon, stop being creepy.
Yep. And also, she is aware and she is conscious. Please don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I guess because she's conscious to a degree, because she couldn't tell if he was. She knew she'd been healed, but she wasn't sure by whom or for what reason.
That's
so
very
she wasn't
true.
sure where she was. So
That's
she probably.
True.
I mean, she probably doesn't know he's actively staring at her right now, but we know it.
We know it.
And Murtagh knows it.
Yeah, Murtagh.
And I imagine Saphira. I'd like to think if Murtagh wasn't we're not speaking right now, he'd be like, stop doing that.
Please stop.
Why are you staring at her?
Please stop.
Hey, I get it. You need to not be weird though. You're being weird.
And it needs to stop.
He needs to relax. So I also like this interaction that they have when they realize there are a group of men riding up and they have spotted them. Yep. And they're like, okay, they're probably not the Empire. They're not Urgals. They don't seem to be soldiers. Maybe we could maybe they're the Varden, but probably not. It's way too far away. And they're like, do you think we could outrun them? And I thought this was really interesting. The horses. Yeah. How we know that Tornak and Snowfire are excellent horses. They're very strong. They're very brave. They're very loyal, but they are war horses. Yep. Which is the first time. Yeah, first time we've gotten that designation. So Murtagh says, Tornak and Snowfire are fine war horses, but they're tired and they aren't sprinters. Look at the horses the men have. They're meant for running. They would catch us before we've gone a half mile. Besides, they may have something important to say. You'd better tell Saphira to hurry back. Yeah. So I like the horses. I don't know. That's just an interesting detail that I never really have thought of, because I don't know a lot about horses. I would just have horses, except we have maybe one special horse. But like this comes from someone who has thought a lot about horses
and probably been around a lot of horses
him. Like, I guess we know that Paulina grew up in Montana, so like maybe simultaneously we grew up in Idaho, and I bet people would assume like, yeah, Idaho, they've been around horses.
No.
No.
I don't know if I've ever seen like an actual horse. No, I've seen actual horses.
I've seen horses,
but like at a distance, either in like a field or one of those horse carrier thingies.
Like a parade.
Yeah,
they do parade. Yes. They do horses on they do the carriage rides around the holidays downtown. But yeah, I had a friend in high school. Her family had horses.
Oh, nice.
So that was the closest I ever actually got to horses, was being at her house and seeing her horses. But yeah, like, so I can't like assume that he's like it's because Paulini personally has like been around horses. Like maybe, but it is. Listen. Sometimes we'll critique, and I think that's valid. That's what we're doing here. But also, we praise a lot, and I think that's a really excellent detail.
Yep, I agree.
That's really logical and interesting, and just makes the world feel fuller. Where it's like there are horses, but there are different kinds of horses. Yeah, and that's neat.
Yep, because like for me, it's like I read, hopefully small tangent, The Ranger's Apprentice has a lot of different types of horses in it. Because the Rangers have ranger horses, and they are completely different from other characters' war horses. And then from the war horses, there are sprinter horses that like I don't know about racers, but like messages and stuff. And then there's also plow horses, and like you wouldn't take a plow horse and be like, now you're a war horse. Or you would, because I feel like they don't really talk about in the book. They don't really talk about the difference between, like how war horses are trained. Yeah. But they do talk about how like the ranger horses are trained, and specifically is like ranger horses are supposed. So the ranger horses, they're trained to like react to certain like signals from their riders, obviously, but like the war horses are also trained to like, if they're like, and I don't know, I do think that the author for Ranger's Apprentice just really likes horses,
probably,
and he does this thing where a warrior, not a ranger, a warrior is in trouble, and he's fighting somebody, and his horse actively goes to attack that person. Ooh. Like lashes out with the hooves and stuff. And it's like a ranger horse wouldn't do that.
No,
but a war horse is trained for war, for fighting, would know what to do.
That's very cool.
And it's also like the horses too, like when they're running past each other, they'll lash out at each other because they're fighting. So I just think like that's cool. It's like, oh, when the war horses come to mind, I'm like, oh, they know how to fight. They know how to fight. Like, they know how to try to, if they, I'm not saying the horses are dumb, but they know how to like protect their riders.
Yeah. They're trained for this.
Yes, exactly. And so like sprinters are also that. And it's also like the difference between a war horse, like I always think like more muscular and maybe a little larger, and sprinters are, while muscular, a little leaner. Yeah. And things like that. So.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. I very much like horses, and Ranger's Apprentice definitely installed that in me. And I'm like, yes, horse. I like when horses like are super cool with their riders, like absolutely.
So these dudes roll up, and like right out the gate, this is not going well. Like they've surrounded them, they've got their weapons out. When Murtagh like demands their name, he's like, as for my name, slaves do not address their masters in that manner unless they want to be beaten. It's like, oh, cool. We're just
diving right in.
Which is like, okay, cool. Let's get on it.
Yep. And I do like when they come down to accost Eragon and Murtagh, they're like whooping and making a lot of noise and a lot of show with their weapons.
Yep. It's not great. And they see Arya, and Eragon's like, oh no.
Oh, yeah. Eragon's like, abso-fucking-lutely not.
So Saphira's back. He tells her to attack, but let them escape if they run. So she dives down. He gives a signal to Murtagh. They both spring into action. Murtagh's on his horse. I said like war horse style, pounds down on a dude. Yep. They're brought back. Yeah, what did it say? Tornak plunged back down, driving his hooves into the back of the dismounted slaver. The man screamed. That man did not walk away from that. Oh, that man is definitely dead.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's, and that's the thing, like, with a toss of his mane, the warhorse jumped forward, twirled around, and reared. It's like, yep.
Eragon starts slinging spells. A globule?
A globule.
A globule of indigo fire struck the ground in the midst of the fray, bursting into a fountain of molten drops that dissipated like sun-warmed dew. That's very cool. And then a second later, Saphira dropped from the sky and landed next to him. She parted her jaws, displaying her massive fangs, and bellowed. "Behold!" cried Eragon over the furor. Furor.
Oh, God. I can't remember. Over the fervor.
Yeah.
No.
I'm a rider. He raised Zarok over his head, the red blade dazzling in the sunlight, then pointed it at the slavers. Flee if you wish to live. And
which is quite a fucking entrance. Like, holy shit.
Yep. They do. In the confusion, Torkenbrand was struck in the temple with the javelin. He tumbled to the ground, stunned. The men ignored their fallen leader and ran away in ragged mass, casting fearful looks at Saphira. And this is like, he struggles to his knees, blood ran from his temples, branching across his cheek with crimson tendrils. Murtagh dismounted and strode over to him, sword in hand. Torkenbrand weakly raised his arms to ward off a blow. Murtagh gazed at him coolly, then swung down his blade at Torkenbrand's neck. No, shouted Eragon, but it was too late. And then the decapitated trunk.
Yep.
And Eragon's pissed.
Eragon's livid.
Yeah.
Enraged.
It's like, is your brain rotten? Why did you kill him? He's like, I don't see why you're upset.
And upset? I'm well past that. Did it even occur to you that we could just leave him here and continue on our way? No. Instead, you turn into an executioner and chop off his head. He was defenseless.
Well, we couldn't keep him around. He was dangerous. The others ran off. Without a horse, he wouldn't have made it that far. And I don't want those Urgles to find him and learn about Arya. So I thought it would.
But to kill him...
And this is where we get, like, I'm only trying to stay alive. No stranger's life is more important than my own.
Yep.
And it's like, Eragon's like, you can't indulge in wanton violence. Where's your empathy? Empathy? What empathy can I afford my enemies? And this is where we get a lot of Murtagh being like,
I would have died years ago.
Yeah, my life has been threatened from the day I was born. Like we said, boys got a lot of trauma.
Yep, and we're still unsure about that.
Yeah, we're unsure as the source, but we're starting to see like, oh, you did not come from a good home life.
Yeah, no.
Like we know he came from economic stability because Eragon has noted that he is very well dressed. He came from some place that could afford him very good training.
Oh yeah,
because he's strong with a sword. He has an incredible horse.
Yep,
and he is someone who can he can't do magic, knows about it, and can defend his mind with magic. Like, we know Murtagh comes from somewhere we could assume central. Like, this is not, he wasn't growing up as a farm boy in Carvajal, right?
No, not
like, this
all.
dude comes from somewhere important, and everybody wants him. So, but that does not mean he has had a easy life.
Absolutely.
That does not mean that his life was chill until the Empire showed up and murdered his aunt and uncle, and then he had to, like, run and join the rebellion. Like, that's not his story.
No, not at all. Because it's like we're getting even more of that, because Murtagh just appeared out of nowhere, and he's been very good, acting very trustworthy. He's been helping and doing all these things, but now he's like, I haven't been safe since the day I was born.
Yeah,
like I haven't, like, and it kind of like casts like, and I think Murtagh hints at it because he says like, oh, the Empire's after me, the Varden isn't safe for me.
Yeah,
and it's just like
I didn't do anything. It's just because I was born.
Yeah, and it's just like, who is this person? And then we're getting more and more glimpses of like, no, this dude was like, he's like you said, he's been anxious, and that weight of like unrest and being not able to sleep and not being able to actually relax for a second. And it does make me think, I'm wondering if in this moment with with Eragon, was Murtagh more relaxed to actually find somebody that he can relax with?
Yes.
Or has he been on edge this whole time?
That's, I would feel like it's the former, because he has this line I kind of alluded to earlier, and sleep never comes easily because I always worry if I'll live to see the dawn. And that's interesting because we've had many times where Murtagh has been asleep.
Yep.
And granted, it's not so unreasonable that Murtagh or that Eragon would have noticed that Murtagh was not sleeping well.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't have necessarily noticed that. That's not something he would have clocked.
Yeah.
But we do know he has slept in his presence.
Yep. And like together, sometimes without even taking watch.
Yeah. And so, like, we do recognize there is probably a degree of comfort and trust. Like, we know Eragon trusts Murtagh, but we can definitely see that Murtagh trusts Eragon in turn, being willing to let his guard down against this person who could kill him in his sleep or just take off and abandon him somewhere on the back of the dragon and steal his goddamn horse.
Yep. And I mean, like, there was an instance where Eragon woke him up and Murtagh did pull, like, a dagger from his pillow.
Talked about that.
And so it's
as soon as he saw it's Eragon,
he's like, all right, cool. But it's like, so he is on edge. He is, like, ready to go at a moment's notice. But he was sleeping. He was, and then he's able to relax when he sees Eragon. Like,
so it's definitely, and so this is all true about Murtagh, but this is the first time that Eragon has seen it because they have never been in a situation where they're decision on how to approach the problem has been different.
Yep.
They've always been on the same page about how they need to address this problem.
Yeah.
So this is the first time there has been a difference where Eragon is like, I will let them live if they run away, and Murtagh's like, I'm going to kill them.
Yeah.
Because they have seen us. They've seen Arya. They've seen Saphira. And the Urgles are really nearby.
Yep.
So if they catch any of these men, they are going to tell them about us.
Yes.
And we don't want them to know that.
Yes.
Also, this dude is threatening me.
Like, yeah, like, also, like, with no disregard was like, oh, we're turning you into slaves.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, they don't, it's like, they don't speak for the rest of the day. They don't really look at each other. I like, you know, at the end, Eragon takes first watch. And again, like, even with this thing, Murtagh nods and then lies on his legs. We don't know how quickly he falls asleep, but he turns his back on Eragon. He still trusts him enough not to literally stab him in the back.
Yeah.
In this moment.
Absolutely.
And I love Saphira.
This
and Eragon.
moment is so
good.
sweet.
And I like that it comes here because this whole chapter has been kind of like high stress in one little bit. So I'm glad we end on this conversation and not just Murtagh turning his back on Eragon, because that's like, ugh, it feels kind of hopeless. So. Yeah. Do you want to talk?
Not right now. Give me some time to think. I'm confused.
I love you, little one.
And I you.
Yay! And she curls up.
And she curls up around
next to him, lending him her warmth. Yeah.
And I do like that because again, it's like it's showing their bond, and it's so fucking good.
Like, I like, do you want to talk? Not right now.
now.
Not never. Not ignored her. Just not yet. I need to think about it. And she's like, I love you. Just remember, you're confused, but don't be confused about this. I love you. And that I like that.
And I do like the sentence too. It's like, she withdrew from his mind with a gentle touch and a whisper. I love you, little one. And it's just like, this is so fucking cute.
No, that's good, yeah. Because it is all of Murtagh's points he made about, like, no, we could not let this guy just run off. One, he didn't even have horses, so like I said, he's gonna get caught by the Urgles. He was a threat, like, and then also at the end of the day, Murtagh's like, I'm not sorry. Like, you apparently want me to be sorry that I killed this dude.
Yeah.
I'm not. And it is like, because also like I said, we're pretty sure he killed that guy with the horse.
Yeah.
Like, we have no evidence. They don't talk about it. But if you get a horse, 2 massive war horse hooves slammed down
on your back,
and
you're not getting up.
You're not getting up. And if he did, they don't talk about the other dude's body. They don't acknowledge it. So maybe he did get up and get away. But like, he's not gonna recover.
No, I'm pretty sure
that.
Like, ribs are broken.
Like, whole body, spine is broken. Maybe like, he's not gonna recover from that.
Nope.
So it's like Eragon's problem seems to be, because the Eragon had no qualms with the horse attacking. Like, he didn't even think about. He didn't react to that. He wasn't upset by that. He's just upset that Murtagh killed this dude who was already injured and didn't have a weapon in his hand.
Yeah.
Rather than let him run away.
Yep.
And that's like his problem is that he killed him in cold blood. And I'm over here like, I don't know about that. But that's the next chapter is the one that dissects that conversation a little more. So we'll pin in that because I think that conversation is more. Otherwise, we're just going to say the same thing again for the next episode. But it is like circling back to the concept of monstrous.
Yeah.
And how the last time Eragon wanted to scare a threat away, he was reprimanded and told that's ridiculous. Yeah, and this time he does want to do it again. And now he's the one telling Murtagh, you were wrong for killing him. And the only difference between these two is that one were human and one were Urgles.
Yep. And I'm going to say, like, this scene has echoes of the scene where Eragon threatens and tries to scare off the Urgles. I almost called them orcs.
I wonder why.
And so it has echoes of it, but it's like the only difference between that and this is what you said, is the Urgles aren't human and these are. Yeah. Because for me, the differences are almost non-existent, because it is this almost the same situation where Saphira comes down and like before it was Saphira and Eragon because it was honor, but then they had a conversation and
he revealed himself to try to give Braun more time to get away.
And he flings them all, doesn't kill them, flings all the Urgles, and they go down, and he passes out because it was too much. And in this one, he scares them off. They are running, so he's like, okay, this time it actually worked. But the same threat applies because Brom was like, I have to hunt down these Urgals and kill them because they saw you and we have to protect you. And this instance, they saw them and...
Like, on the one hand, it's like, yes, beforehand, Eragon was still a secret. And he's no longer a secret.
Yeah.
That said, though, you don't want them knowing where you're at.
And that's the thing, because it's like
especially when you're so close to the Varden.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I was saying, too, is like, before it was like they were still trying to keep hidden and nobody really knew where they were, I don't think, and things like that. And there were like whispers of Eragon, but nothing concrete. So it's like, that's also... But it's also like, this is like, Eragon's presence is known. Saphira's presence is known. Their whereabouts, not so much, but and they're not in the Empire anymore. Yeah. But it's also like these slavers do trade.
They do, yeah.
In the Empire.
Yeah, where do you think their fucking like customer base is at? It's the Empire.
So it's like I do think I'm like, because for me I'm like the smart thing to do would be to hunt them all down and kill them. Like that would like the Urgals.
Or I don't know, make them swear oaths that they will never speak of it in like the magic language where they literally can't. Like if you want to make sure they go, make sure that's what's, and so it is interesting because the exact similarities of the situations and Eragon still being like, I don't want to kill them, I want to scare them away, could be read as Eragon has not changed his mind about that. He still stands by it is wrong to just kill if you could not. If you can avoid killing, you should not. There should be another option if there can be.
Yeah.
I am not completely sure if that is the intent that we are supposed to take. I think we're supposed to take away that Eragon doesn't believe in, again, wanting killing people. If there's another option, you should do it. But I don't know if it is supposed to show that Eragon, if they were Urgals, he would have made the same choice. Yeah. Because he doesn't reflect on that. Yeah, no, I think if it was supposed to, if Eragon could have thought about, if I believe that it's, again, just meant to demonstrate that the only reason Eragon was wrong not to kill them is just because those were Urgals. Yeah. And yes, Brom's reasoning was like, oh, they could have seen us, they could tell us back. Like, that is exactly what Murtagh is saying right now about the slaver. But Eragon doesn't think about that. He doesn't reflect on how this is similar because to him, I think that is like discussing the monstrous again. Yeah. I don't know. There is not enough in this scene to demonstrate that it's supposed to tell us that though Eragon has changed, though he's become more powerful, though he could use his thing, he's coming into his own as a writer, he still is that same young man at the beginning of his journey who will choose not to kill if he can avoid it. Yep. I don't, and that's the problem, is that I don't know if, because we had that whole scene at the top that was so adamant that you should have killed the Urgals because they are a threat. Yep. And we have an opportunity for him to reflect on how I don't believe in killing anyone if I can avoid it. Yeah. Because like we said before, like we said way back when, and I know I'm repeating myself, but like it seemed like Brom's only reason to say you should have killed them was just because they were Urgals, and if they were soldiers, he would have thought differently. Yeah. Saphira would have said differently. Yeah. So it is, and so there's no critique from Saphira about letting the rest of them go. Yeah. Right? There's no concern that these dozen or so men saw them and then all ran away. Yeah. So that's the thing. I feel like we have not readdressed especially at the beginning of the chapter, still calling the Urgals monsters. Yeah. Like, if they were Urgals, I don't think Eragon would have had any qualms in just killing them all. Yeah. Just instantly killing them all. Which is, like we said, monstrous is a term that we could very easily apply to this band of men here who enslave people. Yep. And that is a monstrous act. And listen, I don't believe in capital punishment, but I do believe in vigilante justice.
There you go.
So, but I don't think Murtagh was wrong, and I really do think they should have killed them all because, you kill Urgals because they've done bad things and they'll do more bad things in the future. Yeah. Do you think these men aren't going to just, our leader's dead, they're going to regroup and they're going to keep doing this and they're going to cause more harm and they're not going to change their ways. So either you scare them into reform, or you stop them from hurting anyone else. Yep. I would make a bad member of the Bat family. I would be Harley Quinn. I would not be Batgirl.
Fair enough. I do think that one of the things that popped in my head that I'm like, we could like make an argument against like that is that I think it all boils down to the fact that this man wasn't armed. Like he didn't have a sword in his hand, and he because he was like, he was defenseless. And I think that is the running thing.
That's what makes Eragon uncomfortable.
Yes, because I think, like, if these were all Urgals, the Urgals would not hesitate to charge at them weapons raised.
That's true. Or even if an Urgal doesn't have a weapon, an Urgal is never defenseless.
Yes.
They are literally like, this species of people are massive.
Yes,
and
exactly.
strong,
and they have
could
horns.
Take you, they have horns. They always have a defense. They can
Yes.
take you out without a sword or an axe in their
They're
hand.
super strong, like, absolutely. So I think, like, like, that could also be said that the reason why Eragon maybe doesn't even think about it is, like, he's like, oh, I wouldn't hesitate to kill an Urgal coming at me, because that's exactly what the Urgal will do. It would run at me, weapons raised, horns lowered, whatever. It would come at me with the intent to kill me. And I think, like, if these men continue to try to attack, I don't know if Eragon would hesitate to protect himself by killing them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, like, that would be a thing that he would do. So I think it is very much where he is hung up, that he's like, he was on the ground. He was completely stunned. There was no way he could have defended himself, and you just killed him.
Yeah. And that's like circling back to, like, Murtagh's reasons as to why, which is he saw us, he saw Arya.
Yeah.
Like, all the reasons why Brahm said we need to kill the Urgals weren't just because the Urgals will kill you in a heartbeat, which I think he also says, like, they won't hesitate to kill you. But also, these men they were also going to kill Eragon and Murtagh too.
Yep.
Like, if they didn't drop their weapons and cooperate, like, they were prepared to kill them as well.
Yep. Fill them with arrows or whatever they say.
Yeah, exactly. So it is, Saphira and Eragon have a conversation about it in the next chapter that I think we'll be able to, like, dive into a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more.
It is that, like, Eragon is not wrong for valuing life.
No, yeah.
But is Murtagh wrong for wanting to protect himself in this situation? And is there actually a right answer? But also kind of figuring out, like, but what is it that Eragon is actually upset about?
Yep. That might be, I feel like that, I know we usually do, like, a writer quip. I'm wondering if that could be our homework for our like, read for our listeners, like, telling us, like, what do you guys think in this situation?
Like, in this situation,
yeah,
like how
do you think Murtagh was I think Murtagh was justified.
Oh, I'm on Team Murtagh.
Yeah, but, like, I can't remember the question you just posed, but, like, that.
Yeah, like, is he who's justified in this situation? Absolutely. I think that, because honestly, I think that is absolutely, writing thing. Hit us up on Instagram. Let us know. You can let us know in the comments on the Spotify. I won't have the question specifically prompted anymore. And that just means Owen can't answer the question before listening to the episode anymore. Sorry, Owen. But I think I think that we can transition into our writing takeaway.
Yep. As well.
Yeah. And how to, if you use a scene that is mirrored, why? Yeah. Because, like, these two scenes are so similar, but it's unclear as to what it's actually supposed to communicate.
I think if the two scenes are mirrored, but the results aren't the same, like, the outcomes aren't the same, why is that? Like, I feel like there should be a good reason. Yeah. Why? Because, like, a lot of it could be just character growth. Like, before, like, if a character has a situation first and they kill everybody and they're like, you shouldn't have killed everybody, like, they blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then later they're faced with the same thing and they choose not to, that would be character growth. Because, like, I don't actually need to kill these people. Yeah. Or, like, an Eragon situation where it happens, doesn't kill everybody, like, that's bad, and then is forced to make that decision again. Yeah. For, like, a darker reason. So it's like,
Yeah, I think, this one it does feel like Eragon, is it meant to tell us that Eragon is standing by, like, no, I value life, or is it just because these are humans and not Urgals that he's making the same choice? Yeah. But there's no reflection on how it's the same. Yeah. So, no, it's a little messier thing, but that like, recognizing those opportunities. Yeah. And whether or not it's even intentional, because maybe it's not. Yeah, maybe it just happens to be the same thing, but it's not even so. This section isn't supposed to tell us anything about Eragon. It's supposed to tell us about Murtagh. Yes. And that can be fine, except it is very, very similar to a thing that happened at the beginning of the book. Absolutely. And we learned from there. So thoughts. Yep, absolutely. Obviously, hit us up on Instagram where we are at. You can email us at eragonpod@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify. And if you don't have really, like, a concrete thought about the prompts, that's okay. And just want to say anything to let us know you like thing, like, that's always welcome. Always absolutely. Very good. We love hearing from folks for all the things. Yep.
Like Curtis Moore.
Like Curtis Moore. Of course, Curtis Moore.
Of course, Curtis Moore.
When I asked recently about your favorite magic systems, like cost magic systems.
Yeah.
Is how I dubbed it. And so we heard from good old Curtis Moore. My favorite magic cost that I've seen lately is at the end of Renegade Nell. Spoilers for Renegade Nell. The cost of using Billy to help at the climax is giving up their bond when they needed each other most. I like it because it was more of an emotional cost than a physical cost. I have not seen Renegade Nell, but I'm aware of it, and I need to, because that sounds very good. And oh no, what happened to Billy? Oh no! The idea of it costing, rather than costing like, oh, I'm exhausted now, or I could, like, losing a relationship out of using, like, damn, that's good.
Yep, I agree.
Oh. We had A+ Cast over on Instagram, who's doing very interesting work doing art of fan casting potential Eragon series.
Yeah.
Very fun. They commented that their favorite one is Eragon's magic system.
Yep.
So for sure, very on brand. Another comment we got from I Figured That on Instagram said, it's a bit of a mixed bag for me. I love the real world impacts for characters when they face consequences, which isn't always negative consequence. But I always feel bad for characters who are just learning magic and can't do what they want yet, even simple stuff. The learning curve always seems to take a super long time, though often justified, yet I wish we could see more of the structure of the magic, language, process associated with it, when we wait for the strength to build up. I'm a language nerd, hello, linguistics degree, so I will always soak up the language, like the ancient language, or the process of a world's magic system. And I think that really hits on why I usually don't super love like cost magic systems.
Yeah.
Because I'm just sitting here waiting for it to get cool.
Oh,
like, I'm like, great, we can do magic, but we can't do anything cool. And I just get to sit here and wait for you to get better at it. Yeah. Which, like, you'll see, like, any, like, system of magic, like, Avatar.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a while for the benders to get better, but I feel like if it was always talking about how, like, oh, I can't do very much airbending because it exhausts me, it'd be a little bit like, okay, like, yeah, but also, whereas this one, it's like exercise.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, I can't do 60 pull-ups. I can't rock climbing things like, oh yeah, I can't like flash a 512. Like that would be wild right now.
Yeah.
But if I keep climbing, keep going, like it builds, and there is the cost of like my physical energy, but that feels different than like other things. I don't know. I think I'm not saying that like if a character can do magic, I need them to be like Donald Duck in Kingdom Hearts 3, like right out the gate.
Yeah.
But
no, I like how described as exercise. Like, I think a magic system that is described as like exercise. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's just because my brain is like, oh yes, exercise. I understand that. Like, absolutely. And I get it. And that's cool. But I think I find that to be more realistic than like anything else for me personally. Like, I'm more comfortable with that. And again, like, as I said, it could be just like, I'm like, that's familiar to me and I understand it. And that's why I like it so much. But
flip side, I do like it when all magic comes with a price.
Yes.
And that price, I like for the Renegade Nell example, that price feeling like a relationship, a bond over over energy. Oh, I sucked out all of my life force and now I can't do it anymore. Like the idea of it costing something that's not just your strength.
Yeah.
I think that's very cool. I think it depends. And also, like, any magic system can be done well, if done well. Like, I don't think I prefer soft magic systems because I'm not a linguistics nerd. And so the intricacies of, like, how it works structured. Like, when I play D&D, I don't care about if my players have enough supplies to make the trek or the journey. Like, I don't care for resource management, so that's just not interesting to me. But that doesn't mean those are bad or that we can't have ones that I enjoy. So it's just a cup of tea.
Yep, I agree.
And then I got one more because I promised I would talk about the maps from Curtis Moore.
Yes.
Curtis shared 3 maps with us.
Yep.
Because he's the best.
Awesome.
Gold Star Curtis.
Yep. Platinum at this point.
Mm-hmm. The 3 maps. One is from the Walking Drum by Louis L'Amour. Maybe it's Louis L'Amour, actually. I don't know, so I'm going to say both.
Yep.
I love them because they were my first introduction to the medieval Middle East and caused me to look up and read about the different people there.
That's
the other one, the other one is from the Peer Dane Chronicle. I love it because it provides enough information to technically count as a map, but doesn't include anything like a scale.
Oh, I love that.
That's just very funny. But yeah, I will share those to our Instagram story.
Yes.
So folks can see the example as well. But yeah, the it doesn't include a scale just made me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Really hard because it does include things like the fanciest compass rose you ever saw.
Yeah.
But no scale. And it's really important because the characters travel a bunch in this apparently. And it's like, yeah, don't, you don't even know how far this is. Look at this bitchin' compass rose and this circle thing that'll come up in 2 books.
That's great.
So, that's funny. And I actually don't think I only have half of my book. I don't think the Eragon one has a scale either. But nor do I believe it has a compass rose.
I don't think so.
No. Lucy, I can't find there's the map. It does have a compass rose.
Okay.
It's a pretty mild compass rose. Granted, it also has runes instead of words. Yeah, there's no scale on this. I feel like, is that pretty common maybe?
I have no idea.
But, yes, so let us know. Yeah, hit us up. Instagram.
Yes, absolutely.
Email,
Reach out.
Spotify. You can leave us
All the
reviews.
Yes.
I mean, on Spotify, you can leave us stars. You can also leave us a review if you listen on Apple Podcasts. Like, that's awesome. I've never checked Apple Podcasts to see if we have any reviews there. I guess I should. If you have, thank you.
Yep.
Sorry for not looking at that. Thank you. Thank you again for being part of this episode. I don't have anything else to say.
Me neither. I think we summed it up pretty good.
Yep.
We got all the things.
Well, we got to prepare for the next episode, which is a thick boy.
Yes, is a thick boy.
All right. Well, until next time, she's Lucy Hart.
And she's Darien Smart.
And this is Eragon.
And back again.